I became a full-time content creator when I handed in my notice during maternity leave. Are you better off financially now that you're a full-time content creator? Can I get partnerships without that many followers? Yes, you can. So I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you either want to become a full-time influencer, or you want to start content creating and you don't know where to start, or you're a mum and you want to spend some more time at home with your kids, and content creating just gives you that flexibility of being at home more. You have a passion for sharing, for creating, and you just want to know, Desreen, how did you do it? How did you get into doing this full-time? We want to know all the details. This is definitely going to be a long one, so you might want to get a drink and get a little bit more comfortable. So my name is Desreen and I am a full-time content creator and a stay-at-home mum. I became a full-time content creator when I handed in my notice during maternity leave in December 2022, when I had just given birth to my son. He was 3 months and I just knew that I wasn't going to go back to work. Why did I decide to hand it in whilst I was on maternity leave, you might ask? 2 reasons. One is because I didn't want my employers to keep hoping and waiting for me to return, knowing fully well that I wasn't going to return back to work. I just didn't think that was fair for them. And secondly, because I was already doing content creating and some of the people in my workplace were following me, I didn't feel as free to work and to create the content that I want to do because I was still technically on maternity leave. So I just kind of wanted to let all ties loose, and I wanted to do that before the new year, and guys, it was the best decision ever. So this video is going to be a Q&A with loads of the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram, and the next video is going to be specific tips that I would give for anyone that wants to start this and eventually go full-time. Honestly guys, there were so many more questions than I thought I would receive, but we're going to try and get through every single one of them. So the first question is, are you better off financially now that you're a full-time content creator? Yes, yes, and yes. Yeah. The second question is, how do you grow your following? So my first tip is to be consistent, and your consistency could be different to someone else's. Your consistency could be posting 3 days a week, 4 days a week, or even 5 days a week. Just be consistent. As a consumer myself, I like to follow people who I know that they're actually going to share content, good content that I'm interested in. And if someone's only going to post, let's say once a week or every other week or fortnightly, then it doesn't give me a reason to actually follow your page. Secondly, I followed people who are sharing the same kind of content that I shared. So that was like motherhood, family, affordable fashion and lifestyle. I would follow people who are the same field as me, interested in the same things as mine. I would also engage with their content and they would also engage with mine. And then you kind of build followers from there, because then you actually get those, you know, Insta friends and Insta besties and stuff like that. That is really, really helpful. Number 3, I would say talk on your stories. There's something personable about speaking on your stories. For me personally, I really like to follow people who talk on their stories, because I personally just don't like people putting perfect pictures and everything is perfect all the time on their posts. I like to see what people do in their everyday, in their day-to-day, talking to us. Do you know what I mean? Because you feel like they're really talking to you and you're getting to know them. So talking more on your stories and your followers to get to know you is definitely key. And the last thing that I would say is DMs. Anyone that DMs you for anything, if they ask you for a link, if they ask you for advice, if they ask you for anything, responds to those DMs. Up to now, guys, I go through so many DMs a day, and I will always make time to answer my DMs, because there was actually a couple of times that I found time to like DM a couple of big influencers and I never got a response, and actually, not gonna sound bad, man, but I actually unfollowed them because I thought, like, I'm DMing you, and on this occasion, the one that I unfollowed, it was a couple of times that I DM'd them and there was like no response, didn't even see my message or anything. One even saw my message, didn't even reply. Me personally, if my followers are following me and engaging with my content and DMing me, I have to take the time out to reply. I don't know, I just think it's a bit bad mind for me not to do it, because, you know, you're my followers, you're helping me with the work that I do, and I appreciate every one of my followers so much, so I will take that time out to reply to my DMs. Those are some of the basic tips that I would give to grow your content. I was going to add in hashtags and things like this, but nowadays on Instagram, I don't really bet on those things. It's just about being consistent, sharing good content. That's my last one. Good, clean content. You don't have to have anything professional. Most of my content is shot on my iPhone in natural light. and just edit it really nice and neatly. There's so many editing tools and editing apps out there that can help. And just post. Don't worry too much about how perfect it needs to be. Just be consistent and post content that you already know that your followers like. So the next question is, do I have any regrets? No regrets whatsoever. Actually, the only regret that I have is not taking it seriously earlier, and that is like into another question. Someone asked, how long have I been doing this for? So I opened my Instagram account a while ago, like years ago, but I only took it seriously when I was pregnant with Joelle. When I was pregnant with Joelle, like, or maybe a couple of weeks before I was pregnant with Joelle, so that was 2020. I gave birth to him 2021. So I think that was let's say 2021, I started taking things seriously and actually posting consistently. And yeah, so since 2021 to now, I've kind of been taking it seriously. The only regret I have is just not starting it sooner, and starting on other platforms and being consistent with other platforms, not just Instagram. Like I said, some of the questions are going to go into one, so if I don't specifically answer your question, it's because I'm blending it into one. So one of the questions were, how did you know when the income was enough? At the point when I handed in my notice in 2022, I only made that decision because I was already making more than my salary. And I think sometimes this is where people can make a mistake, is that they take that leap too quickly. For me personally, I said to myself that I will only leave my full-time job when the social media on my work, content creating, was paying me more than what my full-time job was paying, because it just didn't make sense. At that time, I had a 1-year-old and I was pregnant with my second child. We had just bought our home, and to be honest, my husband has a good job, so I could have technically still had not worked and just been a stay-at-home mum. So that year when I was looking at my finances, I had already started making more money than my full-time job, so it made sense for me to start making that move already. I already had in mind that I'll be leaving soon, but doing it on maternity, like getting pregnant again, was kind of like the best time for me. Any advice for someone who is starting out, who's just starting out and trying to grow on their platform? I'll share more in my second video, but those tips that I gave earlier are just about being consistent and posting. Don't be afraid too much of what you're posting, whether people will like it, will you get lots of likes. Just post and be consistent. If it is truly like a passion that you enjoy, then just have fun. I think sometimes when you start to look at it more of as a work, as career, it kind of takes the joy out of it. So just post, be creative, share what you want to share what you're passionate about. Don't think too much about the numbers, don't look at all of those things, just post. What lights and things do you use for your hauls and get ready with me? I will leave them linked in my description. For a long time I was only using my phone, but then now I actually use my Sony camera. I'll link it all in my description, everything that I use, all on Amazon. How did you know it was possible to quit your 9-to-5? So like I said, when I was pregnant with Joelle, I knew that I wanted to stay at home with the kids. I knew that it wasn't going to work for me to be at home full time. It's something that to be at work full time. It was just something that I wanted to do personally. I just wanted to be at home with my kids for the first, like the most important years of their life, before primary school. And because I already liked content creating, and at that time I didn't even think there was money in it, I was just posting because I actually enjoyed it. So when I started getting opportunities to work with brands and getting partnerships, I realized I can actually get a career out of this. So when I realized that, that's when I started to work a little bit more, not even more consistently, because I was already posting consistently. I was strategizing a little bit more because I thought, okay, I can actually make this into something. So then I actually started really posting and being more consistent, which led to more partnerships and more brand opportunities. So I thought that was the best time for me. Do you ever feel like you overshare? No, I don't, because I was even saying to, I think it was James, I was saying to someone, I feel like I don't share enough of like, there's so much that goes on in my days with my children, and at home, and the things that I do on a day-to-day basis, I actually don't share because I just don't have the time to share it. But also because there are some things that I do like to keep to myself. So the vlogs and things that I share, the day in my life, are specific days that I'm happy to share, but there's some things that go on behind the scenes. Sometimes I'll need to take my children to the hospital because they're not feeling well. You won't see me sharing that. If there's certain things going on in the family, you won't see me sharing that. If there's certain things that me and James are doing privately, you won't see me sharing that. So I share what I feel comfortable to share, and also what my husband feels comfortable for me to share. because you still want to keep a little bit of yourself to yourself. However, I am very happy and comfortable with the things that I do share on the internet. Is the money consistent, or are there quieter months? How do you stay booked and busy? This is a really good question. So for creators, the end of the year is the most busiest time when you can make the most money, because it's like the Christmas season, end of year season. And then also summer is quite good because it's just like the summertime. The quieter months are the beginning of the year, like now. And yeah, that's how it kind of is in the content creating game. Do I stay booked and busy? Honestly, for me personally, it is just to be consistent. And I think for me, it's easy for me to be consistent, even though sometimes it's tiring. I have to stay up late and edit. I've got to work around the boys. It's because I genuinely like to create content and share. Ask my husband, my sister. Yes, this is my job, but I genuinely love doing what I do. So if you follow me on Instagram, I share organic things on my posts. Everything is not an ad. You will see me posting organic things all the time. You'll see me on my stories because I genuinely love what I do. Even now with YouTube, I'm on YouTube because Instagram is just too short. So I needed to come somewhere where I could share longer videos and in detail videos like this, so I can link back to people on my Instagram who ask questions. And I just want to be able to have not have a time limit. And even on my vlogs, because sometimes I'm literally trying to narrow down my vlogs into a minute, and I realize I can't do a minute, so I try to do a minute and a half, because that's how long your videos can be on Instagram. But it's not long enough, so I need a platform that I can share longer videos. So yeah, I genuinely love what I do, so it's easier for me to be consistent on here. And I find that the more consistent you are and the more you post, and just the more up to date and that you're in people's faces, brands are likely to see you. If you're not really consistent, you're not really posting, and you might share a partnership here, you might share a partnership here, or one post here, one post there, then brands aren't really gonna be interested. So even with my agency does get me opportunities themselves, but also some opportunities come from the back of them seeing my content on social media. How do you generate income from it? So how I generate income is from the partnerships that I have with brands on my Instagram. So I would share a reel or post or stories in exchange to sharing something from the brand, either an item, even experience, or their services, sharing that on my platform to my followers. I would get paid for that. I have done two videos for one brand, UCG I think they call it. It's my first one, creating content for them to use on their platforms, but I don't actually have to post. Majority of my partnerships are on Instagram. I have had 2 partnerships on TikTok. I haven't had any on YouTube yet, but we'll see what happens for 2024. What did you do that was a game changer to gain your followers? I think it was when I was pregnant with Joelle. From then I was posting like 4 or 5 times a week, and then after, when I was pregnant with Ruben, I think as well, those are the times. And because I was at home, I think, was I at home? I was creating content whilst I was pregnant, and I think a lot of mums liked it, so I gained quite a few followers from there. How do you film around the boys? And someone else asked, when do I do it? How do I do it? What's my schedule? Quite a few of those questions were asked. So when they were little, when I first had Joelle, so I was still consistent when I had a newborn with Joelle. I was still consistent when Ruben was a newborn. How did I do that? By planning my days and bulk content creating. When I gave birth to Ruben and Joelle, James's mum, my husband's mum, would have them one day a week, not one full day, but a couple of hours one day a week. And that was the day that I would bulk shoot my content. Like I would literally just do back-to-back content, back-to-back videos, back-to-back photos during that day. And then it just meant that I didn't have to shoot anything else for the rest of the week. The only thing that I would do for the rest of the week whilst I was at home on maternity leave is get James to take a picture of me and the babies, take pictures and videos of us whilst we're going out for a walk. So I had content of myself and content with the kids. Editing, I would either do in the evening when the boys, like my boys have always slept well, so I would do it in the evening before I go to bed, or during their nap time sometimes. But if you guys know me, you know that I nap when the boys nap, so usually it's in the evening when they're sleeping. Or now that the boys are a little bit older, they go to childminders 2 days a week. So those 2 days I work on shooting content and editing on those 2 days a week. So the rest of the week I don't have to do any work unless I have like an ad that I have to do and I've got a deadline and maybe it's like a short turnaround. But other than that, I just work on those 2 days, and the other days I'm predominantly at home. And in the evenings I'll sit down and edit my YouTube videos, or like my longer videos, or my reels, like here and there. If they're sleeping, if they're watching TV, I'll just get it in there. But yeah, now that they're older, it's when they're with their childminder I work, which is why I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mum, like full-time, but I could not create content with them at home with me 7 days a week, which is why they had to go childminders for 2 days a week. If it was up to me, then I would want them to start like nursery when they're 4, I don't know, but I just couldn't do it. I needed them to be out of the house for a little bit. Is your monthly income stable? I don't get brands deals every month, but I kind of do. I feel like I do. Do I? But there's not like a consistent, oh, every single month you're going to get this amount of deals. It's different because it's like contracting. It's not like I get a brand deal every single month, but most of the time it is regular. It's regular. So, or let's say 1 month is 2 ads, or maybe 1 month even 3 ads, but then the next month I might not have one, and then the following month I might have one. But because the opportunities and the partnerships are quite good, it's okay. So it gives me that stable income throughout the year anyway, if that makes sense. Advice to a shy mum who is looking to make this change. There was another question that someone asked, how do I get started if I'm quite shy and stuff? I would always say this to people who ask me, if you genuinely like to share, you genuinely like to talk, you genuinely like to create content, you genuinely like social media, then just do it. If your shyness or your anxiety and stuff is stopping you, but you genuinely have a passion to do it, then just go for it. Just don't overthink. Don't overthink and, you know, worry and stuff. Just try and get comfortable first. So record videos for yourself that you're just looking at, like at home. Videos so you can get a little bit more comfortable speaking in front of the camera. Just start slowly and just share what you feel comfortable with sharing. Maybe at first it might just be pictures because you don't have to talk. You know, just start slowly and gradually you'll start to build that confidence on the platform. And like I said, for you to be consistent at this, you genuinely have to enjoy creating content and posting. So if it's something that you generally do like to do, then do it. But sometimes it can seem like a bit of a task. It can seem long. It can seem a bit hard. You know, I've got to keep up. I've got to be posting. I've got to do this. What motivates me is that it's my job. I have fun. I do get paid from it, which is great. But I also enjoy it. Like, for example, I was saying to my friend the other day, I don't have employees. I don't have colleagues. I don't have people that I go into the office with. It's just me. So I find that recording and being on my stories and sharing content that people respond to, it's kind of like my interaction, like my social interaction on here, which is why I really enjoy doing it. So if you're shy, just take it slowly. Start with things that you will feel comfortable with sharing. Watch videos to get lots of tips on how you can start and sharing the specific niche that you want to share, so you kind of have all the information that makes it easier for you, so you don't have to worry too much, and just go for it. Just go for it. Take it slow. Don't be too hard on yourself and don't think too much. Do you keep most of the things you show or wear, or do you also return them? So you guys will know the videos that I share is not always new things. So if I do like an outfit, most of my videos are like restyling the outfit because I don't buy clothes all the time, and I never want people to think that I do, and I don't want to sell the idea that promote the idea that I am just buying clothes all the time. So you will see me styling a satin skirt that I have bought, that one thing that I bought 6 ways with things that I already have in my wardrobe, and I might add a jacket that I've recently bought, or I might share, you know, outfit ideas, but it's never like all of the things I never knew, because I don't do that. The only time I would do that if it's inspo for a specific date or for a specific event or a specific thing, like let's say Valentine's Day. I think I ordered like 6 dresses before last Valentine's Day. I think I kept 2. So I won't keep them because I just don't see the point of keeping clothes I'm not going to wear, but I really did like 2, so I kept 2. Do you know what I mean? So whenever I share things, it's usually mixed with my current wardrobe and a couple of things that I've liked and that I will keep. I would only return them if I genuinely wore them, put them on and I thought, actually this doesn't suit me and doesn't look nice, or it was for me just to share inspo for a specific occasion that I know I'm not going to wear again. But most things I will buy and I'll keep. Just a couple of things. I'm just not into buying clothes and stuff all the time. I want to add to my wardrobe things that I will actually keep long term rather than just buying for the sake of buying. Do you sleep well in order to be organised and productive because your girl is struggling? Honestly, like I said, I think the most important thing that I did with my boys is to sleep train both of them. So I have a really good routine at home. So if I do want, like the other day, I just recorded a quick video when the boys went to bed at like 7:30. I'm able to edit. I'm able to catch up on some works on my emails. Yesterday I had like an admin evening. So I'm able to work around the kids because they have a routine. Routines are not easy to put in place, especially if your children are not used to it, but just start trying to get some kind of routine in the evenings. I would say start with that, because that will help, so then you can have some downtime to do your work. Or if it's during the day, like when they nap, you can work whilst they're napping. I think the other day I actually stayed up and did some work rather than napping with them. How long have you done this for? I started following you when you had children. So yeah, like I said, I opened my account in 2020, I think. I don't even remember. But I started posting more consistently in 2021. How much do you earn a month from content creating? Now this can differ because brands will pay differently, and like I said, I don't have brand deals every month, and some brands pay after 30 days, some brands pay after 60 days, so it's never like an average amount, but it's good money. How to create an engaged community, how to learn to make good reels and captions and posts. How to create an engaged community. To get a good community on here is to actually engage with your community that you have built already. Whether that is a community of 5 people, whether that is a community of 400 people, whether it's a community of 3,000 people. With the community that you already have, you need to first engage with them. If you don't engage with them, they're not going to really feel a part of your community. So if they don't feel part of your community, they're not really going to stay or engage with you. So like with the women on here, I feel like on my platform I have such a good community of girls that I love, that I've been able to build these relationships over a few years on here, and just engaging with them alone will help you build that community more, because there's so many women that would say, oh, my friend told me to follow you, oh, my friend told me to follow you, oh, my sister told me to follow you, and that is because of the community that I built already, that they've actually introduced and brought on people to join our community, which is so lovely. And how to learn to make good reels and captions and posts. Guys, Instagram is your best friend. Instagram and TikTok, there's so many videos nowadays. My husband sends me them all the time, bless him. He sends me how to have good quality videos, how to have good posts, how to have good sound, what equipment to use, what apps to use. They're all on Instagram and on YouTube. So just search and you'll find everything that you need on there. Essentials for getting started. How not to overthink or to lose focus on your goals. Literally, so like I said, for the longest time I was just using my iPhone, and you know those circular ring lights, that is all I was using. That's it. And I use InShot. I do use CapCut, but I prefer InShot, and just use a good editing app, and Bob's your uncle. That's it. Just share the content, literally just those basic things. And then as you go on, you might want to get more equipment just to make your content look a little bit better. Like now I've got a different lens, even though I bought this a while ago. My husband bought it for me, I only just found it, but I kind of wanted to take some of my photos to a different level, which is why I got this lens, and I can't wait to use in the summer. But you can do all of that after you've started, you know, you're getting more comfortable in it. But to start, all I did was literally just use my iPhone, literally, and a tripod. You need a tripod, an iPhone, and a ring light, and a good editing app. That's it. Do you post on all platforms? Which is your favorite? So I currently mainly post on Instagram. Instagram, I really love Instagram. TikTok, I post on TikTok, but I'm not really a fan of TikTok, I can't lie. I feel like I haven't found my feet in TikTok yet. I'm still trying, but I haven't really found my feet on TikTok. And YouTube, I'm back on here. I really want to work. This is the platform that I want to work on this year, and that I want to grow on in here this year. That's my main focus. I kind of wish that I kind of focused on all the platforms before, but it's kind of good that I was able to kind of focus on one platform, which is my Instagram. And now I have a little bit more time to focus on my YouTube. See where it goes. How do you make time? I try to create content, but the kids can be but with the kids I mostly can't. What helps? The days that they're in childcare. So if you've got children and they're in school or childcare, you can create then. If my children were old enough to be going to school full time, I would be having content for days. Like days. I honestly miss the times when I didn't have to think about childcare or things like that. It was just so easy to shoot content, but now I really have to plan and work around them because I have 2 young children, so they make noise all the time. 2 boys, 2 boisterous boys who are really toddlering right now, so planning around them is key. So I would create the content when they're at the childminders, or if I need to create content with them, the best times for me to shoot content with them is just after they've had breakfast in the mornings. I just check with James in his diary, has he got meetings at that time? So if he hasn't, after breakfast, we would all get ready and we'd shoot some content before then or after their nap time. Any tips for sharing long-term partnerships would be amazing. So yeah, there are a few brands that I've worked with more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times, and I think it's generally depends on the quality of content that you post. If they really like the content that you've posted, they'll definitely be interested in working with you again, and if the engagement was good on your content. I very much think it's very important to post really good content when you are working with brands, prior to working with brands and when you work with brands, because if you post good content beforehand, they're like, oh yeah, she can do a good piece of content for us. Sometimes they would even say, I like this style of content, can Desiree create this for the brand, because they already liked what I did. So creating good quality content is key for long-term relationships. And if you're going to brand events or events where other PR people are going to be, or other brand people are going to be there, brand people, sorry, I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean, then always introduce yourself, you know, don't be shy, talk to them, you know, and yeah, building good relationships is really important. The good thing, well, my agency really does that, but when I get the opportunity to meet people, I will always introduce myself as well. I think it's really, really important. What are your favorite aspects of content creating? What I like most is that I can share what I want to share. I can share, you know, how to style something a few ways. I can share the things that I bought from Primark. I can share a vlog with my crazy day with my boys. I can share what I want to share and what I feel comfortable and happy with sharing. I think that's what I love the most. I also love just sharing with a community, and the fact that I have a community who enjoy what I share and who engage with what I share. I think that's really nice. When people comment, I don't think people understand how much it is, how nice it is, you know, how much I appreciate when people comment and DM and engage with my content, because that means you've really liked my content, and that really means a lot to me. So I really like that as well. I also like that it is very flexible, so I can still be very much at home and look after my home, my husband, my kids, and still have time to content create on the side. I love that it's flexible, and I love that it's a good job. It's a good job, it's a good career, and I really enjoy it. Do you see yourself being a full-time content creator forever? Forever. I think you mean long term. Do I? Definitely yes. I of course would like to do this as long as I could, but like I said in one of my previous videos, I don't solely just want to do content creating. There are things that I would love to do on the side whilst I'm content creating. My whole plan is to use the money and the work that what I've been able to build from this to invest in creating my own things. So there's definitely stuff that I would like to do this year. There's still certain question marks, there's certain fears and anxiety about bringing out certain things and doing certain things, but there are things that I want to create, businesses and things of my own that I do want to be able to create, as well as being a content creator. So it means that, you know, if anything in the long run, if content creating just goes downhill, I still have my own things that I can depend on and not just depend on the content creating. Yeah, I definitely want to do it as long as I can, but yeah, I definitely want to build things of my own as well. Will your husband keep working his full-time job? And then someone else said, do you want to become a family content creator with your husband? My husband will still keep his full-time job. My husband is very much my husband's a very man's man, and I'm not saying anyone's husbands who doesn't work now because their partner earns a lot of money stays at home, but I think I like the idea, and my husband likes the idea of my husband going to work as well and coming home, rather than him being at home with the kids and me just solely working, for a number of reasons, and I won't go into that. But my husband will keep working and I'll keep doing my content creating. I have said to him I would like for him to have a less stressful job. I have said that to him. Will he do it? I don't know, but I have said that to him. I would like him to change his job because it's a good job, but it's quite stressful. And the question about do I want to become a full-time family content creator? For now, I don't, and I think that's a part of my privacy. Keep a little bit to myself is what I like. The fact that it is just me and the kids here and there. It's just me and James here and there. So it's just me mainly, and I'm happy to just share myself. But I don't know. I don't think I would become a full like, oh, Desmond's family or my whole family. I don't think I'll do that. And also because children have their days, my kids are getting older, there'll be times when they might not want to shoot content, they might not want to do stuff, they might not want to post every week and things like that. And I want to be able to do my work with just me when I need to, if I have to, and also with the kids. Does that make sense? So like, because if I was just a family blogger, it mean that we'd all have to be in the content, we'd all have to be in all of them, we'd all have to be in all the videos, all have to be in the photos, and I don't want that pressure for my family. So I'm happy to join them in here and there, but you'll mainly see me. Did you only get paid partnerships after you were signed to your agency? These are really good questions. So my first paid partnership was actually £50, and I was so happy because I was like, oh my gosh, I got paid. And I think I got my first paid opportunity, I think when I was like on 2,000 followers. Times are different now, so you could be getting more than that by having 2,000 followers. I think my first paid opportunity was when I had about 2,000 followers, about £50. And before I signed to my agency, I think I signed with my agency in 2020. I was pregnant with, who was I pregnant with? I was pregnant with Joelle when I signed with my agency, I think, or I just had Joelle. I can't remember. I was on maternity leave, or so, I can't remember. I think I was pregnant with Joelle, and I signed with my agency, and my agency have been incredible. So I was getting paid opportunities before then. So before I signed with my agency, I actually had a lovely girl called Sybil. She was kind of doing my admin and stuff for a couple of months to help me kind of like respond to brand partnerships and stuff like that. So I was getting paid beforehand. So the partnerships didn't just start after I had my agent. It started from before. But my agency have been able to bring on more opportunities, if that makes sense. How do you get ideas? This is a good question. I get ideas from like my day-to-day life, things that I think I want to share this, or this will be good if I share this, or I think this will be helpful if I share this, or I just get inspiration from other people that I follow on Instagram, and or something that I've taken for myself from something that I've seen, and I thought, yeah, I like this. I think my followers will like this too, so then I would create it for them. Can I get partnerships without that many followers? Yes, you can. And this one is a bit of a, people have different answers for this. I would say yes, you can, because I was getting brand partnerships before I am where I am. And guys, even now, I'm only on 60 something K followers, and I've had incredible opportunities. So your followers do matter. But what matters most is your engagement. So it's actually not mainly about your followers, it's actually mainly about your engagement, about your insight, like your demographics that's following you, the age, the gender, the cities, the countries that are on your page more, how many people are engaging with your content. It's actually that side of things that are more important now rather than the followers. The followers, of course, are important, but all that engagement stuff side is definitely more important than that. You can get paid partnerships having 4,000 followers, you can get paid partnerships even having 1,000 followers. It just depends on how good your content is, and how much engagement you're getting, and does a brand feel that that your followers will engage with it, and will they make a profit from you sharing something on your platform, basically. And you don't have to have a lot of followers for a brand to see that they can, or that you can. Do you get any trolls or people who don't support you? That's a good question. So I actually don't get any trolls, and I don't think in my whole time of content creating I've actually ever had a troll. I've had some people that ask silly questions but I haven't actually had any trolls, which is really nice. And I'm saying that now, but I probably will now after this watch this year. I'll probably get some trolls, but I have seen on like the Instagram community is that sometimes when you are going up, not everyone is happy that you're going up. So sometimes people might change towards you, people might not follow you anymore, people might not engage with you anymore, people might not support you anymore. But that's fine. That is with life. And you hear so many famous people say, you know, even their close friends, as they started going up or as things started going well for them, people fell away. And I have noticed that some people have acted differently towards me on social media, and even when I've seen them face to face. I don't know why. I have no clue, but sometimes it's giving off the vibe of like, you know, I'm not happy for her. And as girls, you can kind of get that vibe. I don't know, that's just what I think. So it will happen, but I just don't focus my energy on them. Someone was going to ask me because they need some direction, help us of how to start. One thing I would say, I have had a lot of questions in my DMs and people have asked it, and most of the time people's forefront reason why they do want to start content creating is to earn money from it, which is great and it is a huge benefit. But I would always say you have to genuinely want to share on social media. You have to genuinely want to be on here, because to get to that point when you are earning money, for some they'll go viral, for some will grow really, really fast. So you have to genuinely want, like, and enjoy being on here, because if you just see it as work and as a task, it's going to become boring, it's going to become mundane, it's going to become boring, it's going to seem stressful. You're going to keep looking at the numbers, you're going to keep looking at the followers. If you just think, oh, you know, I just want to get paid, I just want to get work from here, you have to just put that behind you for now. That will come. If you genuinely love it and you're consistent and you're going to keep working hard at it, it will follow. Money will follow. But the first, to start off, don't have that in your mind. Just focus on sharing and building your community. That is the most important thing, because if money is like the sole reason why, you will end up falling off, because it might not be straight away that you get brand opportunities. It might take a little bit longer than you anticipated to get brand opportunities. So yeah, think about that. If money is your sole reason and you're just someone that wants to make money, fair enough. But I'm just saying that it will be a little bit hard because it won't happen straight away. How do you know what your niche is? It's whatever you're interested in. Some people do food, some people do cooking, everyone does everything on here. So it's whatever you like. If you like talking about equipment, if you like to review things, if you like to buy stuff, if you like to do share clothes, if you like, it's whatever you like to do. If you've got a skill to share, just share it. Everyone has different like niches and things that they're good at on social media they like to share, and everyone is doing well. So just post what you like, what's easy for you to share, what you feel comfortable with sharing, what makes you feel happy to share. Just share that and narrow it down to a specific niche or two. Has having an agent changed your stability? 100% it has helped. So I took a while before I decided to sign with an agent, because I kind of just wanted to just focus on creating content. And my agent actually reached out to me a year before I signed to them, and I kind of declined because I was just like, I'm not looking for an agent at the moment. And then a year later, we were now working together. They have been amazing. And one thing with agents is that they could provide you with opportunities you might not be able to receive by yourself, because first of all, you may not have the experience and the expertise to understand what you can get and what you're worth. They also have connections that they could put your face in front of. They could put you in front of people that you wouldn't be able to be in front of if you were doing it by yourself. They communicate all the brand deals, all the opportunities for you. They get you to go to certain events that you probably wouldn't be able to go to by yourself. So having an agency has just been the best thing for me. They have been incredible. How much weight did you lose after your 2 boys? I think by now I would have shared that video, or I'm going to share a video about that soon. What are your next goals as a content creator? This year, one of them is definitely to have meet and greets or some kind of like events for mothers, for females, different kind of events this year. I was going to have one last year, but kind of just changed my mind last minute. I think it's just because I was just nervous and I just kept thinking it's not going to be good enough. I was just letting my thoughts get to me. And work with some other brands. And I also want to get to 100k, because I'm really taking long to get to 100k. I want to share more on here on YouTube. And what else do I want to do for content creating, and just up my content creating content, just to improve more, and maybe get some help with someone editing some of my videos, which means that I could just create more, if that makes sense.